All right, good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. I always say that government works best when it works together. One of the great things about working for Mayor Adams is every time we do a brief, a presentation, the question you always get asked is, how are you working with other agencies? How are you working with the Mayor's Office of International Affairs? How are you working with community engagement units? How are you working with all the other agencies? Because he also knows that government works best when it works together. And that's certainly the case here in delivering these supplies to the people of Ukraine. So New York City Emergency Management is very proud to join Mayor Adams, along with First Deputy Mayor Lorraine Grillo and leaders from DCAS, the Mayor's Office of International Affairs, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, FDNY, and the Health Department to provide these critically needed items to the people of Ukraine and to help coordinate these humanitarian efforts. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to the Consul General for being here with us today. Consul General Holubov, thank you for joining us. I also want to just extend a quick thank you to our logistics and support services staff here at Emergency Management for helping to organize these efforts and to prepare the delivery of supplies. Just like New York City, we are making sure that we're getting the right resources to the right place at the right time. And as a veteran, as somebody who has seen the horrors of war up front and personally, the humanitarian costs of wars, I also just want to extend a big thank you to Mayor Eric Adams for leading this charge and making sure that the city is meeting our obligation to the people of Ukraine. So thank you very much. With that said, Mayor Adams.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just really want to thank Zach and what he's doing over at OEM and how he's bringing just his strategic abilities to our operation from storms to preparedness for major catastrophes to something as this. He brings that real experience. And this is an amazing team. And you're right, Zach, the coordination is crucial if we're going to execute the plans on how to ensure we respond to what is happening in our city. And being joined with my other leadership team that is part of this initiative, and the new branding of our international affairs. Commissioner Mermelstein, you have taken our international affairs to another level. This is an international city. Whatever plays out on the stage of crises globally, it plays out on the streets of New York. It's no secret that we have the largest Ukrainian population in America, right here in New York. So if it's happening in their homeland, it is traumatizing and impacting the people who are here. That's why we allocated earlier this year $2 million to Ukrainians to help with the resettling here as the war overseas continue to move forward. And so I just want to thank you and your entire team for what you're doing. We've also partnered with nonprofits who are providing legal services to those in need, trying to find a new home in another country is extremely traumatizing, and we want to make sure we allow it to be a smooth transition. But today is also significant. Today, we're here to announce that New York City is providing another level, another round of humanitarian aid directly to those in Ukraine. The war is still going on, and basic items are needed. You can see some of the items that we're providing that are being loaded in these trucks. The donations are much needed essential supplies like hospital beds, medical supplies, food rations, water, electronics, all the things we take for granted and we can pick up every day. It is part of the everyday life of those Ukrainian citizens. I don't know if any of you saw the photos that showed those young people standing near buildings in ruins as they had to find a way to celebrate their graduation. They didn't have a prom. They did not have a normal graduation. The abnormality of war is impacting the people. We can alleviate that impact by what we're doing. 72 pallets of supplies going this week alone. The city has already donated 1.5 million items, with 150 pallets having already touched down. That is extremely impressive, and that is how we help our neighbors in the Ukraine. In total, we delivered over 400 pallets. In the coming weeks, we will be delivering enough to fill an entire football field. Our commitment and dedication is real. And so I want to thank all of our partners who have participated in putting this together. DCAS, thanks so much for really navigating how do we make this happen. Commissioner, you continue to do an amazing job over at DCAS. New York City Emergency Management, as I indicated, OCME, and of course, Acting Commissioner Kavanaugh and the FDNY. All of our offices in the city, our city agencies have in some way participated in the Office of International Affairs and my good friend, the Consul General of Ukraine, of their connections to the brotherhood and sisterhood that we are having here in this city, is saying to you that you are our brothers and sisters, and we're going to be here for you during this time of this experience in this crisis. This is a city of immigrants. This is a city of refugees. And we want our brothers and sisters from the Ukraine, those who are here and who will be coming here, to know that as family, we're going to look after each other. So we see what is happening in Ukraine. We see the suffering and the pain. The bombs that are dropped on the streets of Ukraine are felt here on the streets and neighborhood of New York City. And I applaud the bravery of the President, Zelensky, and the Ukrainian people. They have energized us all to know that together we're going to see ourselves through this awful war and bring peace back to the Ukrainian people. We can't fight on the ground with you, but on the ground here, we're going to give you the supplies to assist you as you fight for your freedom and liberation during this horrific war. Thank you very much. I'll turn it back over to our Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to invite my friend, Commissioner Pinnock from DCAS, the microphone.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Iscol and Mayor Adams. I am honored to join all of you this morning. I want to start by thanking everyone who made this donation possible, especially our sister agencies, the Office of International Affairs, the Office of Emergency Management, the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the New York City Fire Department, and also our shipping partner, Meast. Together, we've been able to provide essential goods that help the people of the Ukraine. It's a reflection of government in action and working towards a common goal. And there is no greater goal or no goal that's more important than providing aid to those in greatest need. The spirit of collaboration and compassion are defining qualities of our great city, and in moments such as these, there is no alternative action. We must do what we can to help others. We share resources, we work together, and we deliver on our promises. It's among our duties as civil servants and as global citizens. Through these donations, we've been able to deliver hospital beds, mattresses, ventilator parts, water, and so many more essential items. Since April, we've shipped over $1.5 million worth of items, and now today, we are delivering nearly 600 beds and mattresses. It is my hope that these beds reach those who are in greatest need. We are grateful and proud to help facilitate these shipments and extend our mission to have New York City government work for all. To the people of the Ukraine, please know that we hear you, we see you, and will continue to lend support through our humanitarian aid. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Would like to invite Commissioner Mermelstein to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Iscol. I'd like to applaud once again Mayor Adams' unwavering leadership in supporting the Ukrainian community during this important time. Our mayor has shown that New York City is a global city that leads by example at all times, including during moments of crises. These humanitarian supplies are going to be indispensable, especially as we hear the continued horrifying news from Ukraine. The time has passed for these unprovoked attacks, and we must call for their end so that the Ukrainian communities can rebuild. I thank all of our sister agencies, the consulate, the logistical support from Ukraine, as well as the government of Ukraine for working with us to manage this project. Sincere gratitude especially to Consul General Holubov for his continued collaboration. My office will continue supporting this administration's efforts and to build on our positive relationships to maintain the momentum of action. Thank you so much.
And would like to invite up Acting Commissioner Kavanaugh. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you. When this invasion happened and the war broke out, we are truly an international city, as the mayor said, and an international department, and our members did what they do so often every day. They said, we have to do something. We have to help. And I'm so proud of them. They raised money. They identified supplies. They wanted to stand in solidarity with the people of Ukraine. And from day one, they wanted to do that. And one of the big questions was, how will we get it there? How is this possible? And thanks to the mayor's office and the team behind me, that was not an issue. We banded together, like everyone has said, and we made sure that everything that we could do would immediately reach the people of Ukraine. And I'm so proud to represent the department that was a part of that, to represent the city as a department, as a city, as an administration. We stand with the people of Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. And would like to also introduce Consul General Holubov to make a few remarks here as well. I also just want to say thank you for being here with us today. We were speaking beforehand, like myself, the Consul General is also a father, and he has family back in the Ukraine. And you can imagine how difficult that must be for him to be here supporting this incredible mission. And I hope that the work that we're doing here in New York City to support the people of Ukraine and your effort give some meaning to that sacrifice that you're making being away from your family. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, distinguished representatives of the New York City government, esteemed audience. Thank you for having me today at this wonderful occasion when support and solidarity with Ukraine is so brightly symbolized by another tranche or another round of humanitarian assistance which the city of New York provides my country and my people since April, meeting the most acute, the most pressing needs of those Ukrainians who are in the most, say, terrific situations. Today, it is 120th day since that night on February 24th, when Russia brought to Ukrainian land this horrific, unprovoked, and unjustifiable war. 120 days Ukrainians defend their land, their families, their beloved, and also the freedom. Freedom for Ukraine to choose its own way, and freedom for the whole world. It is very important in this our struggle to feel we are not alone. And this assistance that we're receiving, and we will be receiving, I'm sure about that, gives a very strong signal, very bright and very strong. Strong for us Ukrainians that we are not alone. We are supported by Americans. We are supported by the city. We are supported by practically each and every personality here in New York from whom I hear we are all Ukrainians now. It is also a very strong signal to Kremlin, to Moscow, that Ukraine is being supported and will be supported by the collective West, by the democratic world, to the very day of our victory, of our common victory over our common enemy. I wish just to thank Mayor Adams, his dedicated team, for immediate response to the situation in my country, for non-stopping efforts of providing so needed medical equipment. Well, I would not even go into details, for providing things, goods that are prioritized by the government of Ukraine and so badly needed in my country. And I must say that this active involvement of the city into support of Ukraine at these very difficult days for my country gives a very clear picture that the Big Apple is a big friend of my country, of Ukraine. I thank you very much for that. I'm going to further cooperate with your team, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure there are a lot of things which we can do further, as we did before, effectively and efficiently. I thank you very much. God bless America, and Slava Ukraini.
That concludes our program. Thank you all for joining us today. Look forward to seeing you afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you.